organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Just ahead tonight on Daily Iowan TV.
Iowa City continues to be a political hotbed. Find out what big names are coming to our city.
An imagination, beauty, and athleticism. This is how the University of Iowa Dance Department describes their annual gala. We have footage and details next.
And in sports, team chemistry helps the Iowa soccer team as they start to wrap up their regular season.
It's all coming up right now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nick Fisher.
And I'm Greta Miley.
With just 2 weeks until Election Day, politicians are flooding Iowa City to get their name out and get your vote. The Ethics and Politics section of the Daily Iowan is keeping everyone up to date on everything about this election. Quentin Meshik is in the newsroom with information on what we can expect in the upcoming days.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, we've got a lot of Democrats coming back to the state. Again, on October 27th, Vice President Joe Biden is going to be coming back to Iowa to campaign for Bruce Braley. Obviously, Braley is the Democratic choice for the U.S. Senate race. He'll be in Davenport, and 2 days later, CNN is reporting that Hillary Clinton is coming back to the state. No details on that yet, but we'll update that more as we get that. Thanks a lot, and back to you, Greta.
Thanks for that, Quentin. And to go on with our political segment, Daily Iowan TV's Austin Love went to see Rand Paul and Joni Ernst last night. Let's see what he found out.
Every Iowa voice matters.
An overcapacity crowd at Gilmore Hall was moved outside last night to see Iowa Senate candidate Joni Ernst in Iowa City. Joni was accompanied by Kentucky Senator Rand Paul on his fourth and final stop of the day promoting Iowa Republican candidates.
I think Joni Ernst is going to make a great senator. I'm glad and proud to be with her here today. Give it up for your next senator from Iowa.
In the final push towards the election, Ernst is on a 99-county tour across the state of Iowa and believes that this is a crucial election for Iowa.
We are at a crossroads. America is heading in the wrong direction.
And while one of the closest Senate races in history is heating up, so are the voters as protesters flock to Ernst's event, interrupting her every word.
And raise them here.
But with every protest came a backing of Joni cheers from supporters.
Respect the students. It's something that I serve.
Love you, Joni.
And students.
Raise the way. Raise the way.
As protesters continued to banter, Joni stood tall.
You have the right to protest, and others have the right to support me too.
Austin Love, Daily Iowan TV.
Rick Spantorum spoke in Johnson County this morning at the Iowa GOP Victory Office. Kelly Oline was there to give us an update on his visit.
Former Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum spoke to Johnson County about his plans for the GOP and Iowa this upcoming election. Santorum touched on how he hopes to reconnect the middle class and revise what it means to be a Republican within the Republican Party. Santorum feels there is some reform and need for the Republican Party in order to win this election. In addition, Santorum expressed interest in raising the minimum wage without raising unemployment.
I think it's appropriate to provide a floor wage. Should employers have better safety environments than what the government requires? Yes. Why? Because they should take care of their employees.
Registered voters can start voting Tuesday, November 4th. But first, Greta, this weather's been absolutely gloomy all day. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it out of my house.
Yeah, that on and off rain had me wondering whether or not I even needed an umbrella. Well, we'll now toss it over to our own Tanner Sigworth, who's standing by in the weather studio. Tanner, will this gloomy weather continue?
Well, Greta, Nick, I got some good news for you guys to look forward to this weekend. Let's get right started taking a look at what you can expect for tomorrow. Your morning's going to start out with some overcast skies, a lot of cloud cover with your temps in the upper 40s. But as we move throughout the day, the sun will start to creep through, and as we approach the afternoon, we'll be moving up close to the 60s. A comfortable Friday night can be expected as it'll be around 60 with mostly cloudy skies. But how about the rest of the weekend? Well, Saturday through Monday is looking great. Clear skies expected Saturday and Sunday. We'll be sitting pretty around 70 degrees those days. And Monday's looking even better with temps reaching the high 70s. But then Tuesday's looking to rain on our parade, about a 50% chance of rain for your Tuesday. And then unfortunately Wednesday is going to dip back down into the mid-50s. But we're going to be cruising through clear skies through the end of this weekend. So guys, not much I can really complain about. Back to you two at the desk.
Have you ever wondered what counts as business casual and what happens when your definition doesn't match up with your boss's? Daily Iowan's Brianna Ox did a little research on the issue.
With styles always changing, it's hard to know exactly what to wear to work. Obviously, you wouldn't wear sweatpants or your pajamas, but the term business casual can be kind of vague. The Pomeranz Career Center advises students when in doubt to dress on the formal side of things until you have a good idea on the culture of the workplace, what other people are wearing, and what the expectation is. Being formal is your best bet. But what if there's no one to base your style off of? Hannah Rochford, a junior at the University of Iowa, works with the University Hospital and Clinics. The first few weeks into her job, Hannah received an email addressing her and her workplace attire. The dress requirements handed out by the hospital vaguely gave outlines on what to wear. Hannah replied back and explained what she thought of as business attire. The lab agreed with Hannah's standards.
Saying that she was sure that I was presenting myself professionally, which was confusing to me because if that was the case, then why was I receiving this email?
However, the professional clothing standards shift depending on your position.
As you get higher in rank on the scale, the more you are dealt with as an individual. The lower you are, the more they just want to see the work.
So when you've received feedback on what you're wearing, how do you handle that?
I would ask your supervisor or whoever made the comment, what can I do to improve? Do you have some written guidelines that I can follow? Ask for suggestions and they'll give them to you. I mean, if they, thought enough to give you the feedback about what you were wearing, they'll happily give you suggestions on what you might change or how you might do that differently.
Reporting from the University of Iowa, this is Brianna Ox for Daily Iowan TV.
The first and biggest performance from the UI Department of Dance has begun. The hard work of over 40 students and faculty will pay off once again this weekend. Dance Gala, a tradition since 1981, showcases a variety of styles, sounds, and costumes. This year's performance features work from local and guest choreographers. Gala choreographer Charlotte Adams said last weekend's performances were a success.
The audience was absolutely packed. It was completely sold out. They were very enthusiastic. The dancers looked beautiful. Everything came together.
Dancers will perform again on October 23rd, the 24th, and the 25th at 8 p.m. in the Space Place Theater.
The Iowa football team has a bye this week, but there's no shortage of Hawkeye sports.
We'll now toss it over to the Daily Iowan TV sports studio where Chelsea Brown and Jalen Socek are standing by.
Thanks, guys. No football pregame, but we have a mid-season update coming up later on the program. But first, the Iowa soccer team readies for action once again. The Iowa women's soccer team currently stands 5th in the Big Ten Conference, and with the help of their team chemistry and a push for more offense, the team has the potential to end their season higher in the standings as a regular season. Taylor Brooks has a story.
This season, the Iowa women's soccer team has been known for their defense, but recently their offense has pushed the momentum as their season is wrapping up. The team has 3 more games left, but is extremely impressed at how they've clicked, especially under a new head coach.
It's fresh for everybody. It's new for everybody. So they had a choice to either buy in or resist, and they've bought in from the very beginning, and they're just such wonderful kids, and we're teaching them to love the game a little bit more, be a little bit more competitive.
The team holds an overall 11 wins, 4 losses, and 1 tie record, which includes the most conference wins since 1999. It's not just one player that is held accountable, though, it's everyone.
We have a bunch of people contributing to goals, which I think is really beneficial because it doesn't allow teams to just mark one person. A bunch of people are dangerous, so I think that just helps our attack so much because we have so many different options to score instead of just one person.
A defensive team at best, the offense is beginning to heat up as injuries have slowly began to heal.
Well, I think we've been a defensive team partly because of the injuries and, the players that we have that are sitting out are, all for 4 out of the 5 are all attacking players. So it's taken time for the team to build around the other players that are now playing wide.
Even with a numerous amount of injuries this season, the team has found a way to click on the field.
We're starting to really get we're starting to click. Everyone's really starting to get at the end of the season, so everyone knows this is it for a lot of people. So we're going to give everything we have at the end.
Taylor Brooks, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Among the injured players that have returned is sophomore Amanda Lulick, who suffered a knee injury in the preseason. The Hawks return to action tomorrow at Ohio State.
The Iowa men's tennis team has had its fair share of success this season, but one player in particular has stood out. Daily Iowan TV sports reporter Austin Luce has the story.
Senior Matt Hagan has been an outstanding leader for this year's men's tennis squad. Now in his third year in the Hawkeye lineup, he has hit his stride and hasn't looked back. In his most recent competition, the ITA Regional Tournament at the University of Oklahoma, Hagan put up an outstanding effort as he became only the third player in Hawkeye tennis history to reach the semifinals of the tournament, where he fell to third-ranked Sooner Alex Alvarez in 3 sets. Hagan credits his coaches for helping him get to where he is right now.
Ross and Ty have really worked hard with me the last couple of weeks, or even just the last couple of months, just getting me prepared, just making me feel comfortable, hitting big serves, hitting big forehands, just really trying to get to know my game. They've helped me a lot.
While all of this added success could get to a player's head, Hagan remains humble, yet realizes he is at the top of his game right now and has goals he wants to attain.
Personal goal, I just want to go into every single match feeling confident. I feel like I can really beat anyone there right now, and so if I can just go into every single match and just play every single point as hard as I can and work hard, then I feel like I can do really well.
Hagan and the Hawkeyes will next hit the court when they travel to Minneapolis to the Big Ten Indoor Championships on October 31st. In Iowa City, Austin Luce, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
And Hagan will be among the favorites to take home a Big Ten singles title in Minneapolis on Halloween weekend.
Women's tennis will also be in action tomorrow as they close out their fall schedule at a 3-day tournament in Des Moines.
The team will be competing in the Jake Jamboree and will be going up against players from Kansas State, Nebraska, Creighton, and Drake.
Last season, the squad posted an overall record of 10-0 on the final day of the tournament and finished the weekend winning 19 of those 20 matches.
And for Iowa football, the team stands 5-2 overall and 2-1 in conference play, now at midseason. But this is not too far off from where we thought the Hawkeyes could be.
That's right, Jalen. The only unexpected loss of the season came from Iowa State. But other than that, the Hawkeyes still stand in good position for bowl eligibility and a chance at grabbing that West Division title.
That's exactly right, Chelsea. And 2 teams standing above Iowa on the western side, Minnesota and Nebraska, but Iowa has yet to play them this season. And coming off the road loss at Maryland last weekend wasn't quite a shocker, putting the Hawkeyes now 0-3 for games played against Big Ten Conference newcomers.
One of those losses to the newcomers comes from Penn State in 1993. But today is a celebratory day for Hawkeye fans. Today marks the 10th anniversary of the infamous 6-4 Iowa win at Penn State in 2004. Both teams combined for 400 yards of the total offense, but that obviously didn't reflect on the scoreboard. The leading man for the Hawkeyes during probably one of the oddest scoring games was the current head man himself, Coach Ferentz.
And Joe Paterno, the coach of the time for Penn State, we probably won't see a score like that anytime soon. But that'll do it for us here in the sports studio. Daily Iowan TV Sports will be back this Sunday evening with a recap of Iowa field hockey's last home game of the season as they face off against Penn State.
Greta and Nick, back to you guys at the desk.
Just before we let you go tonight, take a look at this. A black bear cub was found wandering around a drugstore in Oregon. You can see him checking out the mouthwash and looking a little bit more than confused about exactly where he is. Police eventually scooped the bear up into a shopping cart. The Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife said the bear has been taken to a rehab center. Officials are planning to release the bear back into the wild next spring.
You know what I want to know, Nick, is how does a bear cub go into a department store unnoticed? Like, how does that even happen?
I mean, honestly, I don't know. If I was walking in a department store and saw a bear cub, I would be running the other way. That's all we'll have for tonight's newscast.
Make sure to check us out Sunday for the latest news, or check us out anytime at dailyiowan.com.
I'm Nick Fisher.
And I'm Greta Miley. Have a great night.
Can't pick up a copy of the Daily Iowan? Are you worried about how you're going to find out about the latest news in Iowa City and the University of Iowa? Well, look no further. You can download the Daily Iowan mobile app on your iPhone for the area's best news coverage. The Daily Iowan is now on TV, online, and in your pocket. If it happens, it's news to us.